Have you guys ever been ghosted? Is a friend or the acquaintance? Like, are there different levels to friendships? I believe there are. And that's what we're going to talk about today on Strange Conversations. So guys, hey, how you doing? It's Yo Ang. You guys may know me from my walking channel on YouTube, Yo Ang, where I walk the streets of New York City. But let's talk about a strange conversation here today. We're going to talk about relationships and how it's different. It literally is different in New York City. There are so many more layers and nuances and things, and it's a little bit like it's like that. It's like regular, but like hyped up. Like I can't even explain it to you. And I never realized it until after I had moved to the city and lived here for about, I'm going to say, like maybe like 4 or 5 years. Now I get it, but it took a while to adjust to. So let's get into it. Now I got into the subject with a friend that I have, and we were talking about this, and I found that there were some similarities. And we were, and I've talked to Joe about this too. We basically, Joe and I will sit there and say we have a circle. Everybody says they have a circle, like your close circle of friends. I actually view it as a circle, but with many rings on it. And, of course, the nucleus of the first ring, that is like your go to diehards. And then it kind of expands beyond that. And I'm going to explain how it kind of works. And then also like the different things that happen within the relationships here. Like one thing I said, ghosted. I had never realized what ghosted was. And yes, I know everybody that is a millennial and beyond has understood what a ghosted was. It's like, you're texting somebody and then they never text you back. Like everything was chill, but then they've never texted you again. You thought everything was good. There was no rift, there was no fight. They just into the ether world. They're still alive because you see them, but it's weird. I actually have a friend, well, not a friend anymore, but I have an acquaintance maybe or a person I know, and literally I could tell you the day that they had texted, we had a conversation, and this is back at last September, and it was on the way to the meatball contest. Had a whole conversation. Never again. I swear to God, that's how it went. And I was like perplexed, confused. What the F? But then, I moved on. But that actually does happen. And, it's neither here nor there. Maybe they've decided they just don't want to be friends or connected anymore. And that's cool. But it's weird. It's like almost a passive aggressive kind of thing. Like they must have known, but they didn't say anything. And honestly, it's not my problem, but it's real. Okay. It's something that happened, like, like you could have seen him the weekend before, but then all of a sudden nothing else. But it's just the most bizarre thing to me. So we've really, really recategorized some people and just decided that it's how we kind of live our life. Like how much energy are you going to put into certain relationships and so-called friendships? And like, I think people get a little confused as to what really a friend is. Like everybody says, oh, I have lots of friends. Do you really? Do you really have lots of friends, or do they have acquaintances, or are these people that you kind of think they're friends but they're not really friends? Because like, listen, we're going to go down the list. Okay, mine has about, I'm going to generalize it. Yes, there's lots of nuances, and people can move from one category to another category for whatever reason. But I'm going to go down the list. I have about 5 categories that I put people into, like if friends. If people say, how is that person, this person? And you guys are going to laugh, like why Joe and I started talking about this. You're going to die. You're going to die. It's like, when I can't even say it because it sounds so terrible. But like when the lottery, everybody's laughing right now. When the lottery gets to be like, oh my God, it's $100 million. The lottery's $300 million. Everybody's buying lottery tickets. Okay, so you go buy your lottery tickets. You've already started planning, like, what am I going to do if I win the lottery? That's how this started. No lie, that's how this started with me. And we would make, Joe and I sat down one time, telling you, at the diner, and we made a circle, and then we started putting people's names on the circle. Like, in this category, what would happen with these people in our lives? In this category, who's on this ring? And then you get further and further away. You know what I mean? And so, like, these people would get, we would be able to gift them this. This next ring would be gifted that. It was just the most. Did we really think we were going to win? No, no, did not. But it was fun to think about it. And it was actually not a bad activity because it kind of made you actually think about who that person is in your life and how much they affect your life. And should they actually even be affecting your life? And are they, you know, people could say good influence, bad influence, or I don't even believe in that because I feel like you're your own autonomous person. You know, people do have some influence, but do they really influence you? And if they do, then you really need to look at that. But it made us look at who we allowed into our deep inner circle. And I thought it was a great idea. And every so often we kind of look at it and say, okay, for just for giggles, we will pull it out and we'll start redoing one just to kind of say who is in our life right now, who would I want to have around me for like those big things that happen to you, who do you know would not take advantage, would not do you wrong, do you dirty, or whatever, but I just think it's really something. I almost think everybody should kind of do it. Think of it like this: if you were to win the lottery, where do they land on that land, on those circles? Where do they line? I don't know. I think it's a really interesting and kind of a cool little thing to do. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to explain exactly why people are on certain rings of my circles. Okay. So first circle, it's the center, bitch. This circle is the middle. Okay. And people can come and go, and it all depends on where you are in your life. Nobody stays someplace forever. I understand that there are people that are going to be my true diehard people. Like Joe is always going to be there for me. He's my true, no matter what, ride or die, it's Joe. Okay. That's just how it is. But let's go through inner circle number one. Inner circle number one on the interior ring. I'm going to read it because you know what? I kind of couldn't remember it all. These are the relationships, probably and of course, with your immediate family. By immediate family, what I mean is those people that you see every single day. They see you at your worst, they see you at your best. This is probably your spouse, husband, wife, your children, sons, daughters. It could be your bestie. That person just about sees you every damn day. Okay, regardless if it's on the phone or in person, somehow you probably connect every single day. It could be your roommate. Maybe your roommate's your bestie. Maybe your roommate's your sister. Maybe it's a roommate that you've been with for 20 years. You don't know. It doesn't have to be family, but these are the people that will have seen you ugly cry. Like, and you guys know what I mean when I say ugly cry, like puffy eyes, mascara running, hair disheveled, probably hasn't been washed in 2 days or whatever. You're wearing the ugliest sweatshirt and everything, and you are just ugly crying. They've seen you at your worst and stuff. So that's what I mean. These are people that will see you at your most vulnerable, and it's okay. And they don't judge you on it. They just sit there and go, yo, she's going through something. And this is going to be your smallest circle. Swear to God, there's not going to be very many that are going to see this. This is the person you can call up and you can tell them just about anything. You could tell that person just about anything, and no matter what. Now, Now, I know not everyone is super close, but for the most part, this is where all your besties are going to be included. Okay. So this is your inner circle. These are things you can tell them, something that you did when you were a child that you would never admit to anybody else out there in public. And you guys would laugh. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the next ring I call friends. Now, I know you guys are going from like your inner circle to friends. Listen, that's because I don't call everybody I know a friend. Just because I've met you or I know you or whatever, you may not be a friend. A friend to me is somebody that it's multi-layered, of course, but it's somebody that I can call up and say, "Yo, there's a show that's happening. It's in 10 minutes. You want to go?" And they're like, "I'm down." Okay. There's no planning that needs to happen. It's just, it happens. Now, if anybody knows me that way, you know that I am a person who will, on the moment, be like, "I need to get a drink. Let's get it. I'll meet you up there in 5 minutes." I don't give you time. I'm not going to say, "All right, would you like to meet for drinks on Thursday night?" I don't do that. Like, that's that's a lot of effort on my end. I don't know if that is just me. I mean, I will make plans if I want to, but me making plans so far in advance for something is, I just don't really want, I guess I just don't want to commit to it. I don't know. What if it's a beautiful day? What if I want to, I just don't do that. But anyway, so friends, it's multi-layered a little bit. And in my view, a friend is someone I can ask a favor of. Like, "Hey, can you water my plants?" Or here's a big one for New York City. Can we be key buddies? Can we swap keys? I don't know if you guys do this anywhere else, but in New York City specifically, you need a key buddy. Okay. And that is somebody who lives outside of the house that that's pretty close, that you guys can share keys. You're going to get their key to their apartment probably, and they're going to take your key to the apartment. You may want to have a couple because, somebody might be on vacation. What's that for? That's in case you drop your keys in the sewer on the streets of New York and it rolls down the damn sewer grate or the subway grate. Or you're on the subway and I don't know, your purse got knocked off. And then all of a sudden, I don't even carry a purse, but you drop your keys on the subway train and they fell between the gap. They fell in the gap. And if you want to know what the gap is that space between the platform and the train. There's a gap sometimes. Don't step in it. You're going to break your ankle. But Jesus, all I think about all the time is my phone in my pocket because I don't want to drop it in the gap. People have dropped many things. I see phones, keys, purses. I see so much stuff on the subway tracks. Somebody's collecting a lot of money. I don't know, but they got a lot of stuff. So you have to have a key buddy here in New York. So it's a person you would actually give them your key to your apartment. And you could say, "Oh my God, I locked myself out of my apartment. It's 2 a.m. They'll get you your key." That's a friend. Okay. Also, and these are the people you'll go to the bar with, and they will help you if you get too just too drunk, too many Sunny D's, too many tequilas. And they're going to help you make sure you get home in your apartment, into your bed. That's a friend. Okay. Some people won't do that. There'll be people in your party that will be like, "Okay, have a good time. Hope you get home." They'll say this: "Get home safe." Get home safe. Get home safe. I can't even walk the one step out of the bar, but yo, get home safe. A friend will make sure they walk you to your apartment. It could be 5 blocks. They will walk you to your apartment. They will make sure that you're okay. They will make sure that you're in the cab, you're in the Uber. Actually, it's probably going to be an Uber, but that you're okay. They might even take the Uber with you and then get dropped off second. That's a friend. There's little things that happen. A friend is a person who's going to have your back and help pay for your dinner if you're like, "Oh, I have cash," and that's the only thing you stuck in your pocket. For some reason, you forgot your wallet. They'll be like, "Don't worry about it. Catch me next time." That's a friend. Okay. It's different. You know what I mean? That's the friend. There's a lot of layers there. Okay, next circle. Now, I'm just going to say these are people that you may. Now, I know you guys are going to say, why are you putting this ring there instead? I'm going to explain it because I'm doing pretty general. I'm not going down to the nitty gritty because we will get nitty gritty with Joe and I will when we do this. But the next circle, these are people you probably don't know their name, but you know they exist, and they probably exist in your life almost every single day, or at least multiple times a week. Don't know their name. I have no idea if it's Jose, if it's Bob, if it's Emily. I have no idea. I don't know if it's Sergio. I don't know if it's, Valentina. I have not a clue. I don't know your name. I should know your name, I feel like, but I probably don't know your name, you know. Or maybe I do know your name, but we're not close. We're not sharing stories. It's pleasantries that we exchange. But here's why I put them here. Okay? These are the people that you pass all the time. It might be the dude that you pass on the street, okay? And you exchange a look, you say hi, good morning, how's it going? He's got a coffee, you got a coffee, you lift your coffees. That's like a way to say hello. You lift your coffee to each other. It's a nod. It's a greeting. Why is he there? Because he affects my day. It might set my day to be good. It's kind of like people who wait for Joe's weather report. If you guys don't know, on my other channel, my husband does a weather report. It's not even a weather report, it's a weather check. But it's like that. Okay. It's also, let me read here. It's the guy, and this is true, it's the guy who expedites the line at the grocery store. Listen, you see him every single time you walk into the grocery store. Now, if you live in New York and you go to the grocery store, you never get to the cashier quickly. There is always a line. And the line, there's one. There is one line. There is not multiple lines usually. It's one line, okay? And everybody's in that line. And you thank God that he's the one working when there's a snowstorm. Because you know what? There's 100 people in that line. And his job is so damn important because he's expediting it. He's like, number 8, go to number 8, go to number 5, go to number 4, go to number 1. Yes, thank you, go over there. He's the one who's making sure people are clicking through. Nobody's jumping, lines. Nobody's like, oh, is number 4 quicker? No, that's not how it works here. There's a person at Trader Joe's. At every single Trader Joe's I've ever been to here, they have an expediter. At my West Side Market, there's an expediter. And I'm going to tell you, the guy at the West Side Market here on the Upper West Side, he used to be a little pudgy, okay? He was still a good-looking guy, but he was a little heavy. No problem, whatever. But over a course of a year, I saw him lose an enormous amount of weight, and he was like trim and built. I don't know what he did. I kind of wanted to ask him, but I felt it would be a little rude, so I didn't ask him. But like, you see him change. But you know what? I mean, the most I've ever exchanged in words with this guy is, hi, how are you? Thank you. This chicken salad is out of date. Can I get a refund? Like, that's about as far as the conversation goes. But the guy is super important in my life because why? He makes sure my life goes smoothly. This could be also the person that falls in this category, like, you don't know their name, but you know they exist and they're super important. This could be the person, the waiter at the diner. The waiter at the diner who knows that our typical order, I don't know his name. They don't wear name tags, but they know that my order is a chicken souvlaki, no fries, no pita, extra salad, extra dressing, and tzatziki. And he gets it every time. And he knows he's bringing Joe a coffee. And he's like, do you want a coffee too today? And I'd be like, you know what? I think I do want a coffee. And he'll bring that all out to us. And we got our food and it's in within 10 minutes. Swear to God, happens all the time. Those people are super incredibly important. Let me give you one more and see if I have another example here. Yeah, it could be the delivery guy who's always delivering your bacon, egg, and cheese and coffee. And he's here in 10 minutes because you know what? He knows you're leaving him a $5 tip. But he's important because he knows he's going to go and bring it to you. You could order it and within 15 minutes you have it. Yeah, you got coffee in the cupboard, but you know what? You're too damn lazy to do it. And You're not going to make the coffee. So that's what I say. Now, the people that go in this category would be your doorman. You would know his name. And then also maybe like your superintendent of the building. Why? Because he's fixing stuff. So, those are people that are super important in your life that normally in any other place I've lived throughout the Midwest, guys, and stuff before we settled here in New York. And those people didn't make a difference to me in my life, really, because you just live differently. Here in New York, there's a whole nother layer, because they directly affect it. Now, number 4, these are what I call acquaintances. Now, that sounds cold. I'll say it. It sounds kind of cold, but it's not. These are acquaintances. Now, these are people that you may have thought would be friends, but they didn't end up there. They just didn't quite make that level. They didn't quite get to the friend level. I don't know what it was. Like, either you didn't jive on something, it just didn't gel. Like, they just didn't mesh with your personality for whatever reason. You totally like each other, maybe. You probably do, because you're still like acquaintances, but they're just not really like friends. Like, you're not going to give them your key. They're not the person that's going to call you up in like 10 p.m. and say, hey, you want to get a drink at the bar. They're not them. Now, these are people that you may have thought, like I said, but they never really got there. You're fine with them, but it never really got to that comfortable level, that level of like, well, I'm at my friend's house. I'm just going to crash because I don't really feel like walking home. That's a different level, okay? Acquaintances don't do that. They get up, they leave at the appropriate time. That's just kind of how it goes. You know what I mean? The pop-ins do not happen on this level. You will not pop into an acquaintance. They will not pop in, or they should not pop in on you, because you'll be like, what are you doing here? Acquaintances, no pop-ins. Okay. I don't know if you guys have this anywhere else, but the pop in is a real thing. People will just pop on over. I was walking by. You'd be like, you should have kept walking. I mean, come on. Pop ins? There's certain people you will pop in on. Those are called friends. Okay. Acquaintances, don't do it. Just don't do it. These are people like, okay, like you definitely would say hi to them on the street, of course. But you probably maybe only see them like once every 6 months. Put it that way, like around the holidays, because it's the thing to do to get together with a bunch of people. And, I guess they fill out the guest list. I don't know. Like you know what I'm saying? They're acquaintances. And I think a lot of people get confused between acquaintances and friends. Like, oh, I'm a friend. Okay, one, I'm going to say this and people are going to all freak out. But for the most part, people that you work with are not friends, okay? Because you work with them. And if you left that job, for the most part, your relationship would be done, okay? You have to remember that. And I've always been a believer that you probably are never going to be friends with your boss or your supervisor, okay? Because no matter what, you report to them and reflect upon their job. So you have to remember that, people. That's just my viewpoint. I know I'm going to probably get tons of hate for it, but that's just what I say. You gotta think that way. And this is just, I used to think the other way, guys. I used to think before that you could be friends with people that you either supervised or whatever, or if you were the manager of them, I thought you could be friends like this. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's not how it is. It's not how it is. If you're younger and you guys believe that, okay, good. You'll learn, okay? Now, everybody else, I put this into the category of you just met them. Now, this is everybody else in the world. You could just meet them. You don't know. They're just you met. You have no idea. You don't know what category to get land in, but that's where it goes. So I'm just giving you guys the 5 simple categories. The 5 simple categories, one more time, is the inner ring. That's the inner circle, okay? And then you have friends. And then you have the people that you may not know their name, but you see them all the time. And they are very important in your life. That's the next level. and then you have acquaintances, and then you have people that you basically just met. That's how I view it. And it's kind of funny, but I never thought about it until we had the whole conversation about what would happen if we win the lottery. I thought it was kind of funny. Let me know, guys. What do you guys do this? I mean, I know it sounds weird. Do you guys categorize? Do you guys know like where a person stands, or is it, and yes, they can move from one level to the next level. Like for some reason, I might actually strike up a conversation with the dude at the grocery store, and then we find out that we have so much in common that he actually becomes a friend. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, do you guys do this? Do me a favor, leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Like some people might say, and let me tell you, family is not always in that inner circle. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's family I haven't spoken to in years, but because I don't see them, because we're not in the same, we have nothing in common. They don't even probably know I have a YouTube channel. God, I mean, please, they're like 1,000 miles away, literally 1,000 miles away. They don't know what I'm doing and stuff like that. And it's just like we never jived. So, like family doesn't always end up in the inner circle. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys understand. Okay. So now we're going to get to the fun part. Well, that was kind of fun, but we're going to get to the really funny part. Now we had listeners. Now, this, like I said, this thing's all on relationships, this whole subject, this podcast. So I'm going to read you guys. One of our listeners actually sent in, and like I said, you guys tell me your strange conversations. I'm going to put them into like a podcast that's actually pertaining to maybe the subject that the thing was. So this one came from Yes Dear 122. I'm going to read it to you. It's so cute. It's a cute story. So it was, here's a conversation. This is from Yes Dear 122. She said, here's a conversation I heard years ago while doing daycare. I can't even imagine the conversation. But when I was reading this, I had to chuckle. It was funny. She said, I had 4 little girls that called my early birds, that she called her early birds, because they showed up before anybody else and they were sitting in a circle on the floor talking to each other. And one little girl said, I live on a farm. And another little girl with eyes wide open said, you do? And the first girl said, yes. And we have cows. And another little girl in amazement said, you do? And the little girl with the cows said, yes. And they scared the shit out of me. It's like, so she said, so Yes Dear 22 said she never laughed so hard in her life. These were 3 and 4-year-old little girls, and they were just, they scared the shit out of her. I find it so funny when little kids say something that's unexpected and almost adult-like. It's like the little girl in the subway the other time I was talking about, how she said, well, I'm broke and you didn't give me my allowance, so I'm hungry, so why can't I have a sandwich? I love it. Guys, share those stories out. Now, these are some conversations that were overheard, and they're from online. I picked these up from online, and there's a couple of sites. One, I don't think it actually exists anymore. I've tried looking it up, but it's called Overheard New York. I'm going to read some of these to you. And these are pretty much all have to do with relationships. This first one, I totally believe. I say never apologize for being crazy. It's a huge reason why I'm friends with you. That's probably pretty true. I have some friends and everybody be like, well, that they're just, that things that they do say or whatever, they're just wild. Those are my people. Those are my people. So you never ever have to apologize for being a little crazy, because that's probably why I'm friends with you, because you're different. And I love that. Another one said, this person said, and this is kind of funny because I do this. I want to know, do you guys do this one too? My New Year's resolution, and I know it's not yours, but this is what they said. My New Year's resolution is deleting the graveyard of ghosts from my phone. Anyone I haven't seen or spoken to in the past 6 months is gone. I'm going into the new year like the grim fucking reaper. Do you guys do that? I do. I actually have to do it. I have to do it more because, your phone only has so much storage. And, I already have a 1 terabyte phone. And between videos and everything else and editing and stuff, it gets full. So I got to delete some of that data, And those people that have ghosted me, you're gone, man. I'm ghosting you right back. You're gone. I'm getting rid of you like the Grim Reaper. Swear to God. Now, this one was from one boyfriend to his girlfriend. The boyfriend says, I think we should go to couples therapy. The girlfriend says, I'd rather get into a fist fight in Walmart. Come on, Walmart people are real. And they matter because they give us laughs. But you know what? Walmart is the ultimate people's, it's a spectator, it's like a spectator sport. Like you go into Walmart and all you can do, you could walk around Walmart, not buy a damn thing, and it's an entire experience. Swear to God. I can't even explain the stuff that I've seen at Walmart. It blows my mind away. And then the thing is, you really don't see this at Target. And I really want to know why. I mean, the places could be across the street from each other. They're in the same damn neighborhood. They're in the same strip mall sometimes almost. I don't understand. Is it because Target has Starbucks? I don't know. I wonder. I don't know why that is, but Walmart is a damn spectacle. Okay. Next one. This person said, I have to go. I left a pot of water boiling on my stove and my roommate would let our apartment burn down before doing me a damn favor. That's truly a New York thing. People have roommates that they're not even friends with. They're just splitting a rent and they might hate each other. They might really hate each other, but they're not going to give up on that relationship because you know why? They're not paying the other $1,500 a month. So they'll deal with it. I can believe that. I can believe it. Now, this one I had to put in here because I was talking about ghosting. Like I didn't know what ghosting was for a while. And then I learned what it was. But this one's even the next level of ghosting. She said, he zombies me. It's like ghosting, but then they come back from the dead a couple of months later and then they hit you up. I never even thought about that. That's a new term, guys. Zombie. Did they zombie you? That means they came back to life after they ghosted your ass. I dare someone to zombie me. Go ahead, do it. Do it. So, last one here. This is a boyfriend and a girlfriend again. Boyfriend says, Crocs are an ugly shoe. The girl, I like ugly things. The boyfriend, am I ugly? I don't know, are you? Just be lucky. Just be happy. Be happy that she's with you. Oh my God. That would be a strange thing to overhear. Swear to God. Anyway, guys, this was Strange Conversations with Yo Ange. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's episode 3. I did it 3 times. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, do me a favor. If you guys like these episodes, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on so you know when I do another podcast and stuff. I am planning, like I said, to do it every Tuesday, have a new podcast for you guys. Drop me a comment. Give me your strange conversations. I would love to hear them. I think it's all about communication. And when you hear things from other people, I don't know, it just broadens your world, Let me know what your friends are. Who are your acquaintances? Who is the person that's really important in your life, but you don't even know their name? Do it. It could be a very interesting and strange conversation. Until next time, it's Yo Ange.